शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। भूरम्भांस्य नलो नीलोऽम्बरमहर् नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्माद्विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिन्स्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात्। सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्येत्तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम्। शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः।
Take the Bhashya. युष्मदस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरयोः विषय विषयिणोः तमः प्रकाशवद् विरुद्ध स्वभावयोः इतरेतर भावानुपपत्तौ सिद्धायाम् तद्धर्माणामपि सुतराम् इतरेतर भावानुपत्तिः इति अतः अस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरे विषयिणी चिदात्मके युष्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरस्य विषयस्य तद्धर्माणां च अध्यासः तद्विपर्ययेण विषयिणः तद्धर्माणां च विषये अध्यासः मिथ्या इति भवितुं युक्तम्। तथापि अन्योन्यस्मिन् अन्योन्यात्मकतां अन्योन्य धर्मांश्च अध्यस्य इतरेतरा विवेकेन अत्यंत विविक्तयोः धर्मधर्मिणोः मिथ्या ज्ञान निमित्तः सत्यानृते मिथुनीकृत्य अहमिदं ममेदमिति नैसर्गिकः अयं लोक व्यवहारः. So what is told there is, there can never be any identity or similarity between Atma and Anatma. They can never be one. And when they can never be one, they have no connection whatsoever. The gunadharmas, the attributes of one cannot be attributed to the other. So features of one cannot be attributed to the other. That also is not possible. And yet, on account of this ignorance which is false in nature, there is some sort of not knowing the distinction between Atma and Anatma. There is adhyasa found. Adhyasa is experience. This we will see in detail. First, let me give you the word meanings. Then we will see the meaning of the sentence general. Then we will go in detail as per the Tika. Yushmat. Literally, Yushmat means Tvam. It means Tvam, you. But here you in the sense Idam. Idam means what? This. What is this? Jada prapancha. Anatma. Like Deha, Indriya, Mana, Buddhi. See, depending on the context, the meaning will go on. The different meaning means one and the same, but the context wise the meaning will be determined. So this is all the meaning of Yushmat. But literally Yushmat means you. Asmat means I, we, you. So therefore I say this. What is Asmat? Asmat is I. Chaitanya, Chit, Atma, Chit, Atma. This is what is the meaning of Asmat, I. Pratyaya. Pratyaya can mean Chitta Vritti, Antakarana Vritti. Chitta Vritti, Antakarana Vritti. Or it can mean Pratitihi. Pratitihi means cognition. Pratitihi, cognition. Pratyaya. Gochara. Here, Gochara means Yogya. Fit to be. Yogya, fit to be. Otherwise, Gochara can mean object also, Vishaya. Object also it can. But here it is Yogya, fit to be. Then Vishaya. What is Vishaya? Object. Like Deha, Indriya, Mana, Buddhi, Prana, and all the objects. That is Vishaya. It can also mean Sakshi Bhasya. Sakshi Bhasya means that which is illumined, made known by Sakshi Chaitanya Tattva Atma at the individual level. Sakshi Bhasya. Vishaya actually comprises entire creation. Entire creation is Vishaya. What is denoted by the word Idam? This stands for entire creation. Idam, this entire creation. Idam. This is Vishaya. Vishayi means the subject. The subject, the cognizer, the knower, the perceiver. Then it means Atma, I. What was told as Yushmat, same thing, Atma, I. Buddhyadi Sakshi. No, this Vishayi. Vishayi I am telling. Vishayi is Buddhi, Asmat, Asmat. You're not Yushmat, Asmat. Yes, correct. Yes, Vishayi is not Yushmat, Asmat. I, Atma. Then Vishayi also means Buddhyadi Sakshi. The Sakshi, the illuminator of Buddhi, Ahankara, Mana, etc. So therefore Vishayi also means Buddhyadi Sakshi. Then the contrast was drawn with the illustration of Tamah Prakashavat. Tamah Prakashavat means like light and darkness, how they are in contrast to each other. Tamah Prakashavat, next word is Viruddha Swabhavayoho. Viruddha Swabhavayoho. Of the two having opposite or opposed attributes. It is a sixth case dual. Viruddha Swabhavayoho. Of the two having opposed attributes, guna dharmas, is the swabhava. Itaretara bhavanupapattihi. Itaretara bhava is atyanta abheda or tadatmya identity. Actually it means itaretara bhava means one becoming the other. The one becoming the other. Here itaretara bhavanupatti means atyanta abheda or tadatmya, that is what is called as total identity. Now its anupapatti is said. Itaretara bhavanupapatti means itaretara bhavasya anupapatti. Anupapatti is being impossible. Impossibility means here being impossible or being improper. Siddhayam, when this is established, when this gets established, Siddhayam, Tadharmanam, api means also, Tadharmanam means of their attributes. Of their attributes. Whose attributes? Of Yushmat, Asmat, otherwise called as Vishaya, Vishayi. Of these, of their attributes. Api also Sutaram. Sutaram means more so, very much, more so, very much, by all means. By all means. It can also mean consequently. It can also mean consequently. Itaretara bhavanupapattihi. Itaretara bhavanupatti here actually means the attributes of one being superimposed on the other. Otherwise, in the same earlier meaning, atyanta abheda, tadatmya or identity is impossible. But actually, because we are talking of the attributes, so therefore, attributes of one being related or superimposed on the other. For example, attributes of Atma being superimposed on Anatma, attributes of Anatma being superimposed on Atma. This is what is here called as, because dharma is there, itaretara bhavanpati, this also is impossible. Attributing the guna dharmas of one on the other is impossible. So this is Akshepa Bhasya, this thing. Take the no, Akshepa Bhasya is not over, that is there. This is the first stage that is there. Iti means, as told earlier, there is no tadatmya between Atma and Anatma. That is what is that iti means. Iti means uktaritya, as told earlier. What is it? As told earlier, there is no tadatmya between Atma and Anatma. Ataha, therefore, when we take tika, we will see that therefore stands for there being no samskaras, no samagris for adhyasa. That is what is therefore. Asmat pratyaya gochare, in the I, Chaitanya, which is fit to be, no, in that which is fit to be cognized as I, Chaitanya, Asmat Pratyaya Gochara. All these words will be seen in detail in Tika, because just to have the translation is better, because when we proceed, suppose any time you have got doubt about a word, better refer to these meanings and which exactly fits in the context you can determine. So this says Asmat Pratyaya Gochare, in that which is fit to be cognized as I, Chaitanya, fit to be cognized as I, Chaitanya. Vishayini, in Atma. Vishayini, in Atma. That is Vishayini, Chidatmake, Chidatmake, in that which is Chit Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa. Yushmat Pratyaya Gocharasya Vishayasya. Yushmat Pratyaya Gocharasya Vishayasya. Of the Vishaya object which is fit to be cognized as Anatma. Of the Vishaya, the object which is fit to be cognized as Anatma. Tadharmanam cha, and of its attributes also. Its means of that idam anatma vishaya. Tadharmanam cha, and of its means of anatma attributes. Adhyasaha, superimposition or false attribution. Superimposition or false attribution. Tad viparyayena, tad viparyayena, conversely. Tad viparyayena, conversely. Or in contrast to it. In contrast to it. Vishayinaha, of Atma. Vishayinaha, of Atma. Tadharmanam cha. Tadharmanam cha means and of its, of the attributes of Atma. And of the attributes of Atma. Vishaye adhyasaha, superimposition or false attribution on Vishaye, Anatma, on Anatma. False attribution, superimposition on Anatma. Mithya. Here mithya word we'll see in the Tika doesn't mean false. Apamnuha. Apamnuha means, of course you'll come to that word afterward. Nasti is not there. Mithya means here is not there. So there are mithya means impossible. Mithya here means impossible. Nasti. Nasti means is not there. Iti bhavitum yuktam. It is proper to be so. It is proper to be so means that adhyasa is impossible. That adhyasa is impossible. This is the meaning of the words in the Akshepa Bhashya. Let us take the Parihara Bhashya also. Tathapi, even then, or in English what they call nevertheless. Tathapi, even then, or what you call as nevertheless. Anyonyasmin, on one another. Anyonyasmin, on one another. Anyonyatmakatam. Anyonyatmakatam means paraspara swarupa, the mutual nature, the nature of other. Means superimposing the nature of one on the other. Paraspara swarupa, anyonyatmakata. Atmakata stands for swarupa. Atmakata stands for anyonya means paraspara, mutual, means the nature of one on the other. So that is what which anyonya dharmanscha, anyonya dharmanscha, and mutual features, and mutual features. That is, features means attributes, the mutual attributes. Attribute is a better word than feature. Feature can turn, it can apply to face, etc. So गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. Attribute, guna dharma, attribute is a better safe word. But the word feature is a soft, nature and feature, the words go together. But better we go with the proper meaning, attributes, guna dharmas. So there is a anyonya dharmancha and mutual attributes. Adhyasya, having superimposed. Adhyasya, having superimposed. Itaretara vivekena. Itaretarasya avivekena. Itaretara vivekena. Due to lack of distinction or discrimination, due to lack of distinction or discrimination between them, atyanta viviktayoho dharminoho. Dharma dharmena will come. That is atyanta viviktayoho dharma dharmena. Before that, itaretara vivekena, due to lack of distinction between them, means due to mutual identification. It also means due to earlier phrase. Itaretara vivekena, due to lack of discrimination or the distinction between them, means due to mutual identification. What is in Sanskrit called as ekatapatya eva. Ekatayaha apatya eva. Ekatapatya eva. That means in English, due to mutual identification, what happens? There is lack of discrimination or distinction between them. So then, atyanta viviktayoho dharma dharminoho. Of the two things and their attributes which are totally different, sarvatha bhinna. See, sarvatha bhinna. See, there is yes. Dharma dharma atyanta viviktayoho dharma dharmino. See, look. Dharma stands for the thing. Dharmi for its attributes. Atyanta vivikta, which are poles apart, which are totally different from each other. So that is what that means. Of the two things and their attributes which are totally different, sarvatha bhinna. Sarvatha bhinna. So of these, mithya jnana nimittaha. See here, this always keep in mind, we are tempted to take it as mithya jnana, false knowledge, which is not so. Mithya ajnana. Whenever this mithya jnana phrase comes, you know it for certain. It is ajnana which is mithya, false. If ajnana were real, do you know what would happen? Vedanta can't do anything. Because ajnana, real means what? Trikala abadita. Ajnana cannot be destroyed. Ajnana cannot be destroyed. Samsara cannot be destroyed. Bondage cannot be destroyed. Moksha is not possible. What for? Then we have to go in for some karma and upasana, something, anyway, some patchwork to be done here and there, so that little go to heaven, etc. So not that way. Ajnana is always mithya, like that. Bandha is adhyasta, therefore moksha is possible. Jnana can destroy. Ajnana is mithya, therefore jnana can destroy ajnana. Mithya jnana nimittaha, on account of inexplicable ignorance. Mithya, false in the sense here, anirvachaniya. So mithya jnana nimitta means mithya ajnana nimittaha, on account of inexplicable, which cannot be explained, which cannot describe ignorance. Satyanriti. Satya stands for Chaitanya, or what is called as Anidam. You should be familiar with this phrase. Na idam anidam, which cannot be available as this. Chaitanya is always available as I, not as this. So Satyanriti, so Chaitanya, Anidam, that is, and Anruta. Anruta, this means this is Asmadartha. Chaitanya, Anidam, Satya means Asmadartha. And Anruta means false, Yushmadartha. Whatever that is, Buddhi, Deha, Indriya, what is called as Anatma. These two, Mithuni Kritya, having combined or having united, says Ahamidam, I am this. Aham idam, I am this. Mama idam, this is mine. This is mine. Iti, so, Naisargikaha, natural, beginningless. Naisargika can mean natural or beginningless. I am this. Loka Vyavaharaha. Loka Vyavahara means the behavior, the conduct. You can take all the meanings. Behavior, conduct, or occupation, or practice, or activities of people. Loka Vyavahara, Lokanam Vyavaharaha. Behavior or conduct or occupation, practice or activities of people. This is one meaning of Loka Vyavaharaha. Or in Tika we will see afterward, other meaning can be taken like this. Lokaha, here Loka means, this is an alternate meaning. Manushyaha aham iti abhimanaha. That notion that I am a man, woman, whatever it is. So that Manush, Lokaha means what? Manushyaha aham iti abhimana. Abhimana, that identity, that notion that I am a man. So therefore, Lokaha iti Vyavaharaha. So is the conduct of the people that I am a man, I am a woman, from where it has come. Chaitanya has nothing to do with the Upadhi. Upadhi has nothing to do with the Chaitanya because they are poles apart. How that, when you say I am a man, what you have done? You have clubbed. How? I and man. Man stands for Upadhi. I stands for Asmat Pratyaya, that is Atma. Both can't be one and same. And yet we find this expression, this practice, conduct in the world. So therefore, Lokaha iti Vyavahara. Or, so is Lokaha means and Vyavahara. So is Loka means, so is the notion that I am the man, and accordingly what happens? Vyavahara, expression, conduct, behavior in the world. With this meaning, we will delve in these two vakyas. Yesterday I told you, when big sentence is there, you catch hold of the verb. And if verb is not available, because see here, verb is silent there. Siddhayam tad dharmanam api sutaram itaretara bhavanupapattihi bhavati. Bhavati has to be added, that is there. But it will be too far. You catch hold of now. Siddhayam. When this is proved, when this is established. What is established? Now ask the question. What is established? Itaretara bhavanupapattau. Anupapatti, asambhava, impossibility of itaretara bhava. Itaretara bhava means aikya, tadatmya, between the two. Between what two? Atma and Anatma. At the Yushmadashmad we'll see, we'll thrash it out. Finally it crystallizes Atma into Atma and Anatma. So that means total identity tadatmya being impossible when this is established. The question is, between what? Total identity between what? So now you say, Yushmad asmat pratyaya gocharayoho vishaya vishayinoho, of these two. Let us take Vishaya Vishayino. You have already got the meaning of Vishaya, of the object Anatma, and Vishayi, the Atma, the I, between these two. What are they? Yushmad Asmada Pratyaya Gocharayoho. So means Vishaya is, now we have to split it. Is Vishaya. Asmat pratyaya gochara is vishayi. It's like they say, if you want to split the phrase, Yushmat pratyaya gocharaha vishayaha, Asmat pratyaya gocharaha vishayi cha tayoho, of those two. Now what is that? What is this Yushmat pratyaya gochara? We have seen what is Yushmat. Yushmad means you, in the sense of idam, anatma, inatma. Pratyaya gochara. Pratyaya means cognition. Gochara means fit, means that which is fit to be cognized as this anatma. It is what is called, it is vishaya. Then asmat pratyaya gochara vishayi, that which is fit to be cognized, or which is fit to be the very cognition itself. So because pratiti also is there. Pratyaya meaning is pratiti. All this will be clear afterward. So pratiti, that which is fit to be a cognition itself, with knowledge principle itself. So that is what is called as a asmat pratyaya gocharo. Between these two, between Atma and Anatma. So, and what are these? What is their feature? Viruddha swabhavayoho, of having mutually opposed attributes. Like what? Tamah prakashavat. Tamah prakashav. Fine. What is proved? Atma and Anatma being endowed with totally opposed attributes like light and darkness, one becoming the other, or identity between the two being impossible when this is established. Yes or no? Other you have to come out. No, Swamiji, it is like this, it's possible. Come on, prove. Can you prove that? It is not possible. When this is established, then he says, means a given thing cannot become the other. When a given thing cannot become the other, say, it automatically follows. Corollary is, the attributes of one cannot be fixed to the other, or the attributes of one cannot get related to the other. See, for example, there is an iron ball, there is fire, apart. Apart. Now iron ball is spherical, fire blazing, hot. But there is no connection between the fire and the iron ball. So can the heat be transferred to the iron ball? Can the spherical, this shape of the ball can be transferred to the fire? No. They are brought in contact and heated. What happens? Paraspara dharma also get transferred or not? The iron ball becomes now red hot, fire. The fire appears as spherical. Fire has no spherical shape. It is spherical. Means what happens? When they are in contact with each other, they are in touch with each other, then what happens? The dharmas, attributes also get transferred. But when they are apart, there is no possible. Now when Atma and Anatma can never be one, how come the sachetanata, chit swarup of Atma can be transferred to Anatma, or the other feature, limited feature of the Anatma, how it can be transferred to? It is not possible. So therefore I say, Anupapattau Siddhayam Tadharmanamapi. Tadharmana means tayoho dharmanam. Kayoho atmanatmanoho. Of the attributes of Atma and Anatma. Tadharmanamapi sutaram. By all means, or consequently, or very much. Itaretara bhavanupapattihi. That is one that here bhava we'll see in the tika as samsarga. Earlier itaretara bhava means one becoming the other. Here we are talking of attributes. So the attributes of one be having samsarga. Samsarga means relation with the other. So that means the attributes of one cannot get related to the other. Means they cannot be transferred, superimposed on other. So this being the case, he says, adhyasa is impossible. Why adhyasa is impossible? We have seen earlier what is necessary for adhyasa. Pura prama, knowledge of identity between the two earlier and the knowledge of the thing which has given rise to samskara, impression. So this is necessary. Now you say these two can't come together at all, they can't be identical, there cannot be any similarity. In the absence of identity or similarity, samskara for adhyasa is not possible, and therefore adhyasa is next to impossible. Iti, as told earlier, ataha means in the absence of a samagri, material for adhyasa, namely the purva prama, earlier knowledge of identity, and the samskara of the knowledge of the similarity being not there, you say asmat pratyaya gochare vishayini, that which is fit to be cognized by the eye. Asmat pratyaya gochare, what is it? Vishayini, the very knowledge principle. Atma, the cognizer, cognitive principle. What is its nature? Buddhi also can know. No. Chidatmake, that which is Chaitanya Swarupa. Chidatmake. Yushmat pratyaya gocharasya vishayasya, of the vishaya, object, deha, indriya, mana, ahankara, all these, which are fit to be cognized as what? Yushmat. More meaning we'll see in the tika afterward. Yushmat pratyaya gocharasya vishayasya tadharmanam cha adhyasaha, false attribution, superimposition of those dharmas. Whose dharmas? Yushmat pratyaya gochara vishayasya dharmanam. Dharmanam adhyasaha is the adhyasaha. Here one short anvaya can be taken. Iti ataha. After iti ataha, straight away you can take adhyasaha mithya iti bhavitum yuktam. See, the second sentence of this is iti ataha. Iti, as told earlier, wherein impossibility of adhyasa between these two, ataha, because there is no samagri, there is no samskara to generate the adhyasa. Therefore he says adhyasaha. Adhyasa between atma and atma is mithya na asti iti bhavitum yuktam. Na asti iti bhavitum yuktam. The question comes, whose adhyasa? That is explained now. Asmat pratyaya gochare vishayini chidatmake yushmat pratyaya gocharasya vishayasya tadharmanam cha adhyasaha. One means in anatma the adhyasa of in atma asmat pratyaya gochare, in atma adhyasa of anatma and its features not possible. Tad viparena, continuing. Tad viparena means conversely, in contrast to it. Vishayinaha tad dharmanam cha vishaye adhyasaha. The superimposition of the atma and its attributes on what? Anatma, that is yushmat pratyaya gochara. So vishaya adhyasa mithya iti bhavitum yuktam. It is but proper that it is not there. Why not there? They can never be identical. There is no material to create the false attribution. They are not possible. So this is what is called as Akshepa Bhashya. Akshepa Bhashya is the doubt or the objection raised to the possibility of adhyasa. Now you say Parihara Bhashya. Parihara Bhashya means answer. Sir, that is true, but we have to go with what we find in the world. In principle, what you said is cent% correct. Adhyasa is next to impossible. But yet what we find, अध्यास is verily there. ये चोर किधर से आ गया? किधर से आ गया ये? Just not possible. Let us see. Tathapi, even then, he says, even then, tathapi, even then, nevertheless. Anyonyasmin anyonyatmakatam anyonya dharmanscha adhyasya. Anyonyasmin, on one another. Anyonya atmakatam adhyasya, having falsely attributed, having superimposed the feature attributes of the other. Anyonyasmin, on one another. Anyonya atmakatam. Atmakatam means nature of the other. See, it should be clear to you. On Atma, you superimpose the nature of Anatma. On Anatma, you superimpose the nature of Atma. This is Anyonyasmin Anyonyatmakatam Adhyasya. Now, Anyonya Dharmanscha Adhyasya. Anyonyasmin, on one another, having superimposed dharma, attributes of the other. So like this. What is that? On Atma, you superimpose the attributes of the Anatma. Let us say Deha. So Deha is 5 feet 8 inches. So Atma is 5. Deha is an ant. Atma is chota, so small. Like this. So is the feature Anyonya and other thing. Again, on Deha, which is inert, it is Sachetana. The Chaitanya of whose belongs to who? Atma. So Anyonya Dharmanscha Adhyasya. Say Adhyasya. Why? Say. Why it is so? Do you know? The reason is Itaretara Vivekena. Itaretarayoho Avivekena. Because of lack of distinction. Aviveka. Lack of distinction. Because of not knowing the difference between the two. So itaretara vivekena. So he says, why? Atyanta viviktayoho dharma dharminoho. What is the itaretara viveka? That these are atyanta vivikta. Atyanta means totally. Vivikta means distinct, separate. Atma can never be Anatma. Anatma can never be Anatma, because like Tama Prakasha was told, like light and darkness. So therefore, Atyanta Viviktayoho Dharma Dharminoho. Dharma means attributes. Dharmi, the locus of attributes, the thing. Now, these phrases we should be familiar now. Dharmi, the one who has got dharmas. The locus of the dharmas. Atma is dharmi. Chetanata, etc. is dharma. Object, Vishaya is dharma. Inertness, etc. are the dharmi. Vishaya is dharmi. Inertness, etc. are the dharmas, the attributes. So, Vishaya, object is a dharma. Vastu, a thing. A vastu. Dharma, dharmi. Dharmi means a given thing. Dharmi means a given. When you say thing, what happens? Or a substance, even in the physics, it has got attributes. When you say a substance or a thing is the one which has got attributes. So therefore you say, so dharmi means a thing, a substance, vastu. Dharma, its feature. So therefore, here is a, Both these dharmis and dharmas, I don't know what are they? Atyanta vivikta. They are totally distinct, different from one another. So therefore, dharminoho, now he says, avivekena, mithya jnana nimittaha. That is what is the loka vyavahara will come afterward. On account of nimittaha, on account of mithya jnana. What is mithya jnana? Mithya ajnana means here mithya is anirvachaniya ajnana. Anirvachaniya ajnana. Anirvachaniya means inexplicable. Anirvachaniya means inexplicable. Anirvachaniya ajnana. So ajnana nimitta on account there. So what has happened now? Satyanrite mithuni kritya having combined. So having combined, so united. What? Satya and Anruta. What is Satya? Chaitanya asmadartha. Anruta false, which is superimposed, that is yushmadartha, buddhindriya, etc. How can they be one and the same? Tama prakashavat, separate. And yet what has happened? Actually what we find is mithunu kritya, having combined these two, united two. This is what vyavahara, expression we find in the word. What is that? Ahamidam. This is me. This means what? This deha, sharira, it is what? Me. Mama idam, this is mine. Whatever belongs to the body is whose? Mine iti. Naisargikaha, beginningless or natural. This is loka vyavaharaha, the expression, the occupation, the activities of the people. Or that we'll say afterward. Lokaha ati means manushoham iti abhimanaha. So is the vyavahara expression found, or loka and vyavahara. I hope you have got the gist of what is told. What is it? Simple this much. Atma and Anatma are totally opposed to each other. They can never be identical, and when they can't be identical, their attributes also cannot be related to each other. And yet, why tamah prakashavat virusva? And yet, what, and therefore what should be done? Adhyasa is next to impossible. What adhyasa? Of one another and also of the attributes, not possible. And yet, on account of this ignorance which is inexplicable, as a result of which, not knowing the distinction between the two, both two are combined. And how do you say they are combined? We find the vyavahara expression in the word. So you have to, look here, you can't start with your theory. You have to begin with what you meet in the world. So you say, it is impossible. Like a doctor, you go, so the patient is saying, I'm suffering, and nothing is there. If it is to console, that is different thing. Because it can never be cured. At least let him live peacefully for some days. That is different thing. But actual, when the disease is there, which can be cured, let us say, and say nothing is there, means you can't say that way. So therefore, this is what is found. So we have to start with what we meet in the world. So that's why even Atma, that means unfoldment of Atma, should be started from Anatma, because we know we are adept in Anatma. we are PhDs in Anatma, and therefore we have to start from Anatma. This is the rule. You have to travel from known to the unknown. But Atma Brahma is so great, that is true. But we are steeped in Anatma. From here we have to make a start. From you travel from known to the unknown. So therefore, what you said is correct, theoretical. But practical is what? We are movement by movement. So right now, Swamiji, you are teaching. We are hearing. Now can Atma teach? Can the body teach? No. And that means what? Something has happened or so now you can say, we are listening. Can Atma listen? No. Can the ear by itself listen? No. And still we are listening is what has happened? proof, adhyasa has taken place. So therefore, for practical purpose, moment by moment we are facing adhyasa, even though adhyasa is next to impossible. Adhyasa being next to impossible. This is what that is. So that you should have a bird's eye view. Otherwise what happens now? If you delve in the bhashya with the details, you get lost. you get totally lost. Now you have got idea. What is that? So they mean these two are of Atma and Anatma. The Yushmad Ashmada you keep aside for the time being. You only take Atma and Anatma. I and this. So these are totally opposed to each other. They can't be identical. Their features cannot be related to the, and therefore adhyasa is not possible. And yet, on account of inexplicable ignorance, due to the lack of distinction between the Atma and Anatma, Atma is superimposed on Anatma, Anatma is superimposed on Atma. Not only that, features of one are superimposed on the other. Fine. Now let us thrash it out. Take the page 4. No, page 5. See, now this all, whenever I give the page, I refer to the 3 Tika book. That is the Ratna Prabha, Bhamati and Nyaya Nirnaya. This is it. One thing we can see, let us start from 4 also. I think all the time Ratna Prabha, I think some importance to Bhamati also to be. Of course, I'm not going to take Bhamati much, except just few here and there, because for Chatusutri I will be taking Ratna Prabha, and for afterward from 5th Sutra onwards I am going to take the Nyayana, because Nyayana is very consistent. Bhamati is a very scholarly thing, and also as a certain aspects explained by him, we follow Padmapadacharya, which is the Vivarana school, and not the Bhamati way of thinking. And therefore that way also, as far as our study is concerned, we are little aligned to Bhamati. South India, Bhamati is more important. More important means because custom it has come. The problem is with the Panchapadika. You know why? This book was not properly available. It is not available. It was not available at all. So that's why I say you don't find it, except the very recent publications of Mahesh Research, etc. You won't find Panchapadika. So it's such a very important. Why? Because important. Direct disciple of Shankaracharya, Bhashyakara, direct disciple, and that is that. That's why certain wrong notions also have this thing. I had one some Calcutta University something is there, and I had got this Xerox. Those days when Xeroxing machines nowadays every street corner you get 100 of them. There's a so kidhar se round about the way I had this thing, and this is that. The Chatusutri itself is such 4 volumes. Because so many tikas, 9 tikas are given there. So that was that. So that is it. So that means that anyway. So therefore, so that we will be mainly following Ratna Prabha for Chatusutri, and for in certain portion Panchapadika also, selected portion will be following it, and afterwards Nyaya Nirnaya. See, now you say Vishaya Vishayino ho. What is this Vishaya? Vishaya means object, Anatma. You see this. Why that word Vishaya has come? Its derivation is given by Bhamati. He says, in the Bhamati, line 4, better count properly, page 4, Bhamati means the in-between passage, not the top passage, in-between passage, line 9. Chit Swabhavaha Atma Vishayi. Vishayi and Vishaya, these two, the distinction is there. What is Atma? Chit Swabhavaha. Chit Swabhava means Chaitanya Swarupaha. He is called Vishayi. Whereas Jada Swabhavaha buddhindriya deha vishayaha. You know what he defined what? Vishayi. Who is Vishayi? Chit swabhavaha, chit swarupaha, atma. What are Vishayas? He says, Jada swabhavaha, those who are inert, those what are inert in nature. Those who are inert in nature. Jada swabhava. What are they inert in nature? Buddhindriya deha vishayaha. Buddhindriya deha vishayaha. So buddhi, intellect, indriyas, deha, vishaya means all objects in the world. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. So therefore vishayaha. So that means we have got distinction now between vishaya and vishayi. What is vishaya? Chit swabhavaha, chit swarupaha, atma. And the inert jada swabhava, buddhi, indriya, deha, and that first vishaya stands for shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, sense object. And this is vishayaha, stands for the vishaya word in the bhashya. So vishayaha. Now why these buddhindriya deha vishayas are called vishayas? What is the logic behind that? So he explained, says, etehi, these, what are those? Buddhi, indriya, vishaya, what they do? Chidatmanam, Atma, who is Chaitanya Sarupa, Chidatmanam, what do they do? Visinvanti means avabadhanti. Visinvanti means avabadhanti means bind. They bind. Who bind? Vishayas bind the Atma. What you mean by bind? He explains further. Svena rupena nirupaniyam kurvanti iti yavat. Very nice expression. Svena rupena nirupaniyam kurvanti. These Vishayas, do you know what that Deha Indriya say? They present Atma in their own form. They present Atma in their own form means Atma, they make Atma appear like Buddhi. Atma appear like Indriya, Atma appear like a Vishaya, Deha, etc. So that means, ये तो बड़ा dangerous है. Difficult to detect, difficult because Atma is presented in the form of Vishayas, the Anatma means very difficult to detect. That is what they say, they bind. And once it is presented, do you know what happens? All features of or attributes of Anatma will be superimposed on who? Atma. And Atma will appear as if suffering all these limitations of the Vishayas Anatma. So that's why Visinvanti, Avabadhanti, so Svena Rupena, what they do? They present themselves. Nirupaniyam means Atma taking itself to be Buddhi, Indriya, Ahankara, etc. So they present in the sense Atma appears to take itself as though Buddhi, Mana, Indriya, Ahankara. So what has happened? It is not good or bad. Atma only was there. Now we dekho kya hai? More the merrier, Buddhi, etc. That is where the suffering starts. That's how it is. So this is what is Vishinvanti Badhanti. Now here Yushmad Asmada Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho is there. Of course, I am not taking all tika. There is a lot of grammar. And grammar आ गया व्याकरण you say Swami जी क्या करने का सब देखे व्याकरण. I will take important things only. At times these tikas have got this. Tikas are very, very useful. Without that, many things cannot be understood. At the same time, these were composed at that time. The audience was different, highly scholastic audience, and therefore, at times, discussion is such that you have to crack your head to know the tika. Better go directly to Bhashya becomes more meaningful than the tika. So at times it happens. So therefore we will take tika wherever it is useful lesson. So now we'll see next part.
ॐ यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्वोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया। यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। अशुभानि निराचष्टे तनोति शुभसन्ततिं स्मृतिमात्रेण यत्पुंसां ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलं परम् अतिकल्याणरूपत्वात् नित्यकल्याणसम्।